What's up? What's up? John and Nadia Melton.
We are so psyched for today's broadcast because we're going to be talking your best tips to helping you reach more people on Facebook and Instagram. When it comes to social, everything evolves so fast, right? And there's a chance you could be using outdated tactics. Okay, I think I'm gonna let go of the hat. I think we made the entrance.
Nah, I'm keeping mine.
No,
Mine's
I just
mine's perfect.
got my hair done. So how often should you post? If you put up more than one post a day, the next post, each subsequent post,
Get 60 fewer clicks.
60 fewer
So
clicks.
you're sabotaging your own posts. Or videos for that matter.
Yes. Nowadays, your mindset should be less for sure is more. So 1-2 posts per day. If you're going to post twice on your wall, you want to spread it out. Recommended frame is 6 to 8 hours. Okay. 62% of Facebook users said they become more interested in a product, a brand, a person, a business after seeing them pop up in a story. This is really epic.
So for those of you doing
conversation.
curiosity posts, you're promoting your health and wellness products, your MLM opportunity, your info products, your book, like incorporate some storytelling into that, all right?
And stick to 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
Stick to 80-20 rule.
Yep.
So 80% of the time, whether it's in your stories or your post, you want to be posting about anything other than your business, right? Because people are going to do business with people that they know, love, and trust.
And relate to.
I
See some people posting 5-6 times a day on Facebook, and I feel like they could
too
probably
much.
cut out half of those posts and put them in a story, right? Like start doing Instagram stories, and then you can have it automatically set up so it shows up on Facebook stories at the same time. Really want to save those premier posts for your wall, and then everything else you can share onto your stories. And I'm telling you, these different platforms are doing more and more with stories.
Yeah.
So if you want to be ahead of the curve, get with the program. Stories are where it's at.
That is number
Concur.
1. Let us scooch over to number 2. And that tip is this. You don't want to send people anywhere else when you're posting. And what I mean by that is you don't want to share outside links or even a link to your group. Get people to ask for that link, right? Or maybe you share the link in the comments below. Maybe you share the link in the video if you're gonna do a live video, but you don't wanna post a link in a post because Facebook is not gonna show it to anybody. Like Facebook's goal is to keep people on their platform by showing native content. Also when it comes
So
to
if you're going to use a
traffic,
link, put it in the comments.
put it in the comments. But you want to, this is a really pro tip here, you want to avoid fishing for
Comments.
engagement.
Yeah, fishing for, say like drop into the comments, like
Listen to
in the
this.
post. We got to back up for a second.
Okay,
Again,
back up.
all of this is stuff that is recommended. Test it out for yourself.
Good.
If you say, hey, share this if you got value, or drop into the comments and let me know. Like if you say that in the post, like in the
Yes.
text, not in a video, but in the
Yes.
text, just know that
Facebook is gonna pick it up.
yes, they're gonna lower the exposure to that post because you're fishing
They're
for
going
engagement.
to decrease
Yeah.
your reach
Yeah.
exponentially.
Or like, how about when someone says stop your scroll, and you're basically saying my post is more important than anybody else in your news feed. Like, look at me, right? So just kind of think about some of that when you're posting. And it's kind of like we talk about when you do a post about your products, right? And you'll share a story about how awesome your products are and how they help this person. And you'll maybe, get into a little bit of detail with this person. Maybe it's you, maybe it's a customer, whatever. And then you're saying, if you're interested, let me know and I'll get you some information. I'll get you the information you know about this product. You don't need to say that. Like if they're interested, they're obviously going to know to ask you about it. But by you saying it, it lowers the exposure and Facebook's going, this person's pitching something. And people
love
don't want
that.
to be pitched in their newsfeed. Does that make sense?
Marketers tend to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times these platforms have to evolve, and this is why the algorithm changes all the time, because smart people like us, really cool marketers, we figure it out, we teach the concept. But then, as you know, in every business, in every industry, there's the good people that do it right. And then there's the people that want to take the shortcuts and really want to spam their way to success. And this platform have to take action, right? Now, here's a really interesting tip that I picked up from this cool little training that I just went through, right? From Shalene's Academy. When you say comment below, but if you say just comment below, the algorithm is going to pick it up.
Yeah.
But if you add some emojis, so imagine comment, instead of like the O, you put like a sun, you know what I mean? Like you substitute a couple letters for the emoji. So then the algorithm is not picking it up.
Now what if you
don't
did,
make it a
what if
practice
you did,
like every time
what if you
do
did
it.
comment, then an emoji below? Like what if you put a comment in between the two words?
Okay, so all is up for testing. But I'm assuming it's going to pick up
It's a good
comment.
question.
It's going to pick up the word. Try playing with substituting inside the actual
Spam is for
word.
cans.
Substituting letters like O for an emoji, because then the algorithm is not picking it up. The point from this pro tip that we're telling you is give those beautiful CTAs, CTCs, so call to actions or call to comments. Live video is beautiful, right? Because the algorithm cannot read it.
And you could do it
right now.
And you could
Maybe
do it
they can, I don't know, but not yet.
In the image.
In the image, if it's a graphic, you could put it in the graphic, right? Or you can put it into the comments as well.
Yes.
But
just not in the post text.
But on that note, now that we're talking graphics, they're saying now do less like former really graphic-y images, because people now love more.
But a graphic could be a
native.
picture.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be a picture,
So-
and you write on the picture, kind of like what you can do on stories.
The next thing I want to scooch on over to is focusing on questions when you're creating your content. So whether it's the headline for your video
Yes, Cynthia.
or this or that.
Round
So
of
let me give
applause.
you the most popular 4 words to start your question with is should, would, which, who. Like, would you wear this or that is a beautiful post, right? Would you do this? Would you do that? Which recipe is healthiest, you know? And then like people
Should
love
we move to a warmer climate?
engage on those types of posts. You know, when you ask questions that require a lot of thought and a lot of typing, so anytime it's a more juicy response, you're gonna notice less engagement is gonna happen. But sometimes it's good to do. See what I mean? Now that could be, examples could be how or why.
Yeah.
Test it,
Yeah.
right? Because these are best practices, but you know, what works for one is not going to work for the other.
Yeah.
You know? Now, the next tip, you guys get ready for this. Nowadays, the algorithm doesn't show you instantly. How many of you guys have ever been in a restaurant business? Have you ever been in a restaurant business? This is why we love this thing we're doing during December, where you double the bill with the tip, right?
100%.
Because
Yeah.
I was in the restaurant
100%
business.
tip.
John and I did it together for a couple years when we were like brand new to business, right? So, but you know, there's a term
Right.
in the restaurant business called weeded. Like imagine if you get like 5 tables get seated at the same time, and then you have 3 other tables, right? And everybody needs a million things from you. And then the bartender is weeded, so your drinks are taken forever. And then the kitchen, there's
my gosh,
one
I'm getting
cook
flashbacks.
that is like didn't show up, and you're so weeded out of your mind. So I want you to think about Facebook newsfeed right now is so weeded. There's like all this inventory, but there's like this much lane. They basically took 7 lanes of traffic and it's coming into 1 lane. Okay. The algorithm now, when you post something, it doesn't instantly show to your friends. Like they kind of like to space it out.
Yeah, it takes a while to get
Sometimes
the
it takes
exposure.
48 to 72 hours for your post to be seen by people. So the tip that we have for you is create evergreen content.
Meaning, if somebody were to see the post or the video a day or 2 later or a week later, it would still make sense.
Be good.
And it would still be a, post that they could justify engaging with, right? Like I did a post last night and that blew up instantly. It's already got almost
baby.
300 likes.
She's on
But it was
fire.
something that like like I know when I do those colored posts, it's short, it's not a lot of content.
Yeah.
And I also know in my mind, I'm like, people are going to like this, they're going to respond to this. And because it's original content, it's not an image that I'm sharing, it's original content that I typed out. Native content. It got a lot of engagement quickly.
Yeah.
But I haven't posted an original post since then. I have shared a couple things, but I haven't posted an original post since then, and it's still trickling and getting content or getting engagement. I also did a post about you last week when we were on stage at GoPro. And that post is I'm still seeing likes and loves and comments.
Yes.
And here's another thing, and you
Take
guys
your
already know
time.
this. I'll then go back days later, hours later, days later from when a comment was posted and engage with that post.
Yeah.
And then that person engages with me. Maybe you ask a question, right? If someone posts something like, oh, that's awesome, I totally agree, and ask them a question. If they respond to it, now you got a conversation going in the comments, but it's now giving more exposure to the rest of your friends and network. There's ways of you getting old posts to go back in the news feed, but doing it strategically and being selective with what you're trying to re-engage with.
That I like to sort of see my news feed, and this is true for Instagram and Facebook. I want my best, like, stellar content featured on the newsfeed, right? Kind of like a magazine sort of thing. But then
Test
things
it out, Erica.
that are
Do
like
both.
maybe I'm not sure about, or maybe I'm like, I don't have my makeup on, but I have a good idea. Stuff like that, and more frequent posting is gonna go inside the stories.
Yes.
And if your post tanks, it actually hurts your page. Okay. So if after 72 hours it is just crickets, right? Just delete it, you know? Remember, don't get like so hung up on, oh my gosh, this didn't work. Marketing is an experiment and you gotta have fun with it, right? Yeah. So you want to be looking out for what's working really, really well and what's not working. And then your goal is to evolve, right? So do more of what works, do less of what doesn't, or even eliminate it altogether. Or ask yourself, okay, so this post didn't do so well. Is it because maybe you posted the link in the description of this gorgeous picture?
People still do that?
Yes, people do that. Put the link with the post.
That's just...
It doesn't work, right?
Bad
We already
etiquette.
talked about that.
That's been bad
so
for
then
years.
you're going to start to see, oh, okay, so that doesn't work. So let me take down this post, and maybe you switch up the picture. Maybe you like bring a little bit more joy to your post. You eliminate the link and then you post it. Also, you want to play with when you post your stuff. So another idea that I picked up was, why not play with
Amanda,
times
you should do stories
that are
way more.
outside of business hours? You know what I mean? So instead of posting, let's say at 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 7 o'clock when people are usually on, play with posting between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. I actually one time posted at like 6:30 a.m., which usually I never post that early, and that post blew up. So play with the times, play with the modality of your post.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a bonus tip, okay? 79% said this format is actually better for Facebook video and Instagram video because it's more native, right? Now, the reason why you may wanna be doing it the way that we're doing it right now, it's because we're going to actually repurpose this
swipe
video.
up is fine. Swipe
so
up's good.
again, what is the end goal for this video, right? What we like to do with our best videos is we like to have our video editor like edit it out, and then we take it to our YouTube, we use it on a blog post, right? Like for the evergreen content. This is it, you guys. If you
Who's
love
gonna
the
do some
video,
vertical videos?
let us know in the comments below. Also share what's going to be one tip that you implement, because we gave you a couple different really fun ideas. So ideas are plenty, but implementation is key.
That's right.
So play with it, have fun with it, go crush it, because you know why? If you don't, it's boring, right? Life is just boring when you don't have any online purchases that are about to arrive at your door. What does that have to do with the cost of tea in China? Who knows? Who cares? But bring some joy, have some fun. Don't worry about being perfect.
No.
Nobody can relate
Michelle, you
to
cannot have
that.
Toby, although you should come to Maryland and visit him.
Oh.
Such a big boy. I mean,
All
just,
right, this is
just
it.
look at this face. He's not even a puppy. He's a teddy bear.
Oh,
Look at that
Toby.
face.
I do think he needs a haircut, because I'm starting to notice like
His last haircut, though,
I
they
can't
made
see
him look.
his eyes.
The last haircut, they made him look like a cocker spaniel.
I know. Well, he's a mix. So
Oh, and by the
painting
way,
on a
if you really
hairdo-
want engagement, get a puppy.
yeah,
And then if you really
a
want
baby.
engagement, or a baby.
or get pregnant.